All right, YouTube family. I've been wanting to make this video for a while now. This is a discussions video. Open discussions. Anything you want to do, anything that needs to be said will be said here. This is not a rant. This is just discussions. It's similar to Twitter feed, but it's my own ideas that I come up with that inspires the video. Today's discussion topic is a question. Is it possible to thrive in gaming today without playing meta, without using meta? I don't think it is. I think that nowadays in gaming, in whatever game that you play, if you don't use the meta or do something with the meta, you stand no chance. You probably put your team at the greatest deficit that you can possibly put them at already before the game even begins if you aren't following a meta. Now, when you think of meta, what is meta? What originated meta? What was the original meta? What made the gaming community just look at something and be like, oh, that's meta? Almost every game that you play now has a meta. Whether you play Madden, whether you play 2K, whether you play Warzone, whether you play Overwatch, and so many other games out there that I can't relate for because I don't play. But I'm sure every game that's ever been played has a meta, especially now. Now, I think back in the days, there were metas, but we didn't call it that. We just didn't call it that. I don't know what we called it back then, to be honest, but I just know that it seems like back then there was more variety with games. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was always the same. It's just like now as I've aged, you just look at them differently. But I know for sure right now there are metas running games. And especially like a game like Warzone, for example. That game is so highly meta oriented that you really can't veer too far off from the meta to put your team into success. Now, I've been trying to go against the grain. I've been trying to use non-meta weapons to get wins. And it's tough. It's tough to play hours upon hours and you don't get a win, and it's partially due because of the gun that I've decided to use. Now, I'm not saying that I'm the greatest COD player. All I'm saying is I tend to stay away from the meta guns because I just feel like there's no skill in it. But then it's just like, if two people are using the same weapon, now it comes down to straight skill, right? That's one way to look at it. It's straight skill now, because now y'all both have the same weapon, so there's no advantage weapon-wise, which now comes down to placement, movement, shots landing, all of that. I think I'm ready to do an examination, a trial, I can't think of the right word, but I think I'm ready to see if there's a big difference between using a meta weapon and not using a meta weapon. Because I look at it this way. If you're going to lose Warzone anyway, lose it your way, right? Lose it your way. But I've never used a meta weapon before, So it's just like, I don't know the damage I can do with using a meta weapon. So I'm gonna try that. I'll play Warzone today. I'm gonna have a Farah class. I'm gonna use the Farah, and I just want to see if my kills go up, or if our wins go up, or do our wins stay like the same? Like, is it just us as the players? Because it's difficult now. It's real rough now, trying to go against the grain in games, because you're not rewarded for it. If you were rewarded for it, it's a difference. And by rewarding, I mean, maybe you get some recognition. Maybe you get some recognition from the gaming community or somebody or something that knows that you're running, that you refuse to run the meta, But you kind of just are stuck. You're kind of just stuck to having to use the meta now. And it's not a good I don't want to say it's necessarily bad, but it's just different. It's just different. So I think today I'm going to start to use the meta, and I'm going to see if there's a difference. Because I've already spent from season 1 to season 4 trying not to use meta guns, always trying to use an off meta weapon. But since season 4 Reloaded is coming out, I think it's only right to just use the number 1 weapon in Warzone right now, just to see how it goes. And if it wins, then clearly you either have to join the meta or separate yourself from it. I don't know what to do, quite frankly, because it's like, do you pull views and try to get people to come your way by not using the meta, or is it going to turn out being too frustrating for people not using meta weapons and losing gun battles that you should have won, but you've only lost because the weapon is literally overpowered, while the weapon you're using is underpowered? I don't know. But my next Warzone video I hope to give you guys will be strictly using the Farah, seeing if it's really the meta that can make me look good, or am I actually good at the game? But that's just a little short, quick video here. I could go on and on about it and include multiple games, but I don't really want to overdo it and overtalk. But yeah, is it possible to thrive in a game without using the meta?